All right. Strap in.
Oh,
Strap in.
no.
Listen, this is where we air it out.
I don't want to.
And this one, I am giddy for. I'm not involved in it, so that makes me a little bit happy. Thor's not involved in it. Well, I mean, there was a little bit of Thor in there, but not really. This is going to be a cat fight, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, fuck.
Get out the sauces of milk.
Shut up.
These two kittens are about to go at it.
We ain't done yet. It's time for the P1 Podcast.
Fun's not over yet.
Completely uncensored and unfiltered. Except for that part.
Looking for the after party with it going.
The show's after show starts now.
Hopefully most of you are old enough to remember the Brady Bunch. There was a episode of the Brady Bunch when they traveled to Hawaii.
Where are you going?
While they were in Hawaii,
Yeah,
they found a tiki idol
I recall.
that was cursed.
Yeah.
And this tiki idol caused so much damage to the poor Bradys.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Greg almost drowned.
I remember.
no.
It was
There
very
was
scary.
a fucking tarantula crawling on
yeah.
Peter.
Yeah,
I think
dude.
Bobby was molested.
Wait,
I don't remember that episode.
I don't think that
I don't remember that
happened.
episode.
What?
I
It was
think-
bad. Either way, anyway, you slice it.
That was off camera.
It was bad.
Yeah.
Maybe. So this tiki idol's bad. The tiki idol of the show is Emily's paddleboard. This fucking paddleboard has caused more problems
Yeah.
than I mean, I can't name another thing that's caused this much issue than this stupid fucking paddleboard.
Brutal.
Yeah.
And
So
Emily's the one that brought this paddleboard into our lives. I hope we all know
well,
that.
it's her
Because
paddleboard.
when I moved to the beach, I wasn't asking for a paddleboard. I didn't even know Emily had a paddleboard.
Oh.
Emily said, "I have a paddleboard I can give to you to let you use because Robert, her fiance, doesn't want it in the house anymore." And I said, "Sure."
Was that so? Do we believe that's the moment when the Bradys found the tiki idol? Is that beginning
Yeah.
moment?
So wait, well then who really is at fault? Emily for having the paddleboard or Thor for moving to the beach? Because that offer never would have happened if he lived in Tierra Santa.
Oh, interesting.
So Thor moves to the
point.
beach,
It's a good point.
and Emily offers him the paddleboard. Thor takes it, uses it a few times. Your girlfriend used it quite a bit,
Yeah, she used it more than I did.
Yeah.
She was fishing off of it.
and so it was super good for you at that time. Then you had a party where Sky came over,
yes.
and Sky used the paddleboard and really enjoyed it.
It was a scene Sky had like a full wetsuit on with her daughter sitting on the paddleboard, and Sky and her would move around. They'd go like 10 feet out and then just go up and down in circles.
Don't get too deep. That's too crazy.
Yeah, you can't get too deep. You don't know what's going on in the bottom of the bay there. There's probably like dead bodies
Loch
down
Ness
there.
Monster for
Loch Ness- Yeah, definitely. I don't want any of that. And I got to cover my skin, so I always go out in full sleeves, full chest coverage.
So
Thank
then
you.
we had the issue where Sky
Yes.
asked Thor, "Hey, since you're moving from the beach, you mind if I take the paddleboard for myself?" Thor says, "Sure.
No, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's all yours."
Mm-hmm.
And then Emily gets word of this, and Emily goes, anybody gonna ask me? It's
I'm
my
here.
paddleboard.
I'm here.
And then we brought up the fact that we did
No.
ask Emily.
I believe it was at said party when
No, I think it was in studio.
it was definitely a
Oh, now they don't even remember.
No.
Now they don't even remember.
Trust me, we had this conversation with her.
Well, yeah, because she was at the party with the paddleboard and the whole thing, and
Yep.
we were talking about it then. We were all using it.
And I think I even brought the paddleboard in studio, in her studio.
No, that paddleboard's never in my
You who
Oh,
doesn't remember.
bullshit. Yes, I did.
You don't
Dario,
remember
thank you.
anything. You don't remember
I-
anything. You
I-
remember exact conversations.
Dario, please help me out here.
No, the exchange happened at Emily's office.
Between Sky and Thor?
Yeah, it was
Sky
here.
can't put the paddleboard in her car.
I don't know, but it was
She
here,
wouldn't-
and then
The paddleboard was in her studio, right?
This
Thank
is
you.
this is a terrible witness.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Why?
You don't remember.
I
Sky,
drove,
why did you get the
I
paddleboard
drove
from
the
Thor?
paddleboard. My Jeep, I was holding it because my Jeep roof was off,
I
and I drove it to
understand
the
you
studio.
brought in the paddleboard, but
Okay.
but the exact exchange when that happened for Sky may not be accurate because Sky can't fit it in her car.
Well, she doesn't.
Well, no, my husband's car can fit it because when I eventually ended up taking borrowership of it. I don't know what the correct word is for when it was in limbo. We would put it in my husband's car. My car won't fit it, but my husband's car will fit it.
This is out of sequence somehow because we've talked about this at least 3 different times on the P1 podcast. This is the first time anybody's mentioned
agree.
this, so
I agree
this
with
doesn't. No,
I know this is complete
I mean,
bullshit.
yeah.
But Dario is saying he saw the paddleboard in the
That could have
studio.
been any time though. He doesn't know the reason why the paddleboard was here.
I brought it.
I understand that.
I think that could have actually been when I brought it to Thor.
No, it wasn't.
To bring to the beach.
Because you brought it to me from the beach from your boat, and I remember walking from the sand to my place. What are you talking about? She doesn't
Emily's
remember
right.
anything.
Emily's right. This is the first time this has been
We've
brought up.
talked about this
This
3
is the
different
first
times.
time
Why
it's
has
been
this
brought
never
up.
been brought up?
That is a fact.
But I can't believe. I literally cannot believe she just said she brought it in studio, and then I brought it to the
I
beach.
don't remember it being
that
in here.
couldn't be
That's what I
further
was,
from the truth.
That's the only reason I'm thinking it could have been in here.
Yeah, I remember it was on Thor's patio in Tierra Santa when he left the bay for a while because I was worried there were going to be spiders inside of the little
And
case. So I looked through it and then somehow brought it home. I'm assuming in my husband's car. I don't know.
But you don't recall.
I got stoner brain cells, bro.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
I don't know what my name
Bottom
is.
line is this paddleboard has caused so many different issues. So Sky takes ownership of it.
Yes.
Emily's kind of irritated that nobody really asked her, and I will back her up. I was not witness to any conversation of M going, "Hey, Emily, do you mind if I have it at my house now?" Was that ever directly said to you?
I don't, not that I recall. And if it was, it could have been like a couple months or a couple weeks before. But right before, I guess, this transaction would take place, I would have thought somebody would have circled back once again and said, "Hey, it's still cool, right?" If they had have asked me. I just don't remember that at all.
and that's how I kind of remember it too. There were discussions when it first went to Thor. The logic was like, let's keep it near the water because what good is it going to do out in La Mesa? That was the
no
initial.
good because she never used it.
Yeah, so that was the initial
Couple
logic.
times.
Let's keep it by the water. Thor and I recall the conversation in front of Emily being like, hey, since I no longer live by the water and Sky does, she should be the keeper of it because when any of us go to the water, then it will be there for any of us to use.
I specifically remember Sky sitting in her chair with a pen in her hand, turning around, goes, "So, do you want the paddleboard?" Now she does that.
Thor, the guy that doesn't remember anything, is
can't trust
specifically remembers
I can't
this.
trust it.
Yeah.
I know.
He remembers the pen she had.
The pen.
Yeah.
But you know, Sky, whenever she's
Does
awkward.
that sound like Sky? Yeah, but I was not witness to any of this, so I have no dog in this fight.
Yeah, so according to me and Thor, the conversation
And Dario.
did happen
No,
in front
Dario
of
did
Emily.
not. He was not part of that
I
conversation.
just saw the paddleboard here.
But
That's it.
Emily is correct as
And
far
Dario.
as I remember that. But from that time we had that conversation till when the exchange actually happened, there were a couple weeks in between there when there were no
Yeah,
discussions.
because I was moving out of my Tierra
Right.
Santa place.
Right,
So
exactly.
then Sky has the paddleboard,
Yeah.
and you using it
Yeah.
fairly regularly.
Well, so you guys remember hashtag fun fact, doing a home remodel, was moving all over the place. And one of the places we were lucky enough to stay temporarily was right on the bay. So that was amazing having that. I mean, literally every single day we would pretty much take the paddleboard out.
Yeah. Well, just recently, Emily was gonna be hitting up the bay on herself. Hey, Sky, you mind if I have my paddleboard back?
How convenient. It's right by the water waiting for you, Emily. It's right here waiting for you.
Yeah.
And for the record, she didn't say, can I have it back? She asked if I can use it. And I said, of course you
Well, that's a
can.
weird
Or maybe I
It's
think I said, "Can I
yours.
come get the paddleboard?"
Yeah, because why would you say, "Can I use my paddleboard?" Of
Well,
course
that's, I
can.
even wrote her back and said, of course
Oh,
you can.
Pulling
It's-
text up, huh?
Well, I mean,
Oh, yeah,
I mean
let's
if we
look
want
at
to.
it.
I agree
Let's
with
look at
Sky.
it.
When someone's full of shit, we need evidence.
Oh, no.
Full of shit, dude.
Oh,
So,
no.
Anyway,
Yeah.
then Sky had a problem that Emily didn't bring the board back.
Uh-oh.
Well, it was very unspoken and it was awkward because of all the awkwardness leading up to it. Emily didn't say she was bringing it back. I didn't ask if she was bringing it
I don't
back.
think I need to say that. Just come and get the paddleboard.
Well, in that regard, I'm gonna disagree with you. I have your back on most of this. This one I don't, because if you're storing it at someone's house and they're kind enough to store it for you, because you wanted it out of your garage, that was said, and then you go and bring it and use it, wouldn't you at least clear up, hey, am I bringing it back or am I just going to keep it from now on? That I would have had a conversation about.
Well, if I would have thought about that, then I guess that is the correct thing to do. If you're really, really thinking about it. It didn't even dawn on me.
And
I just took the paddleboard home. We unloaded from our trip. We stayed at the Bahia. We unpacked, put the paddleboard in the garage in the corner, and then kind of like, that's it. I forgot about it. So.
And let the record reflect. She did not say, "Can I have my paddleboard?" She said, quote, and this is why I thought it was so weird, quote, "Any chance I could use it this weekend?" And that's when I write back, "Of course you can.
Well,
it's
but she
yours."
just said-
She could have
Could I
said that.
use
I'm going
it?
to back you up, Emily. You could have said that because you didn't know if Sky was already planning on using it.
No, it's a very nice way to ask. I'm just saying she didn't say, "Can I take it? Can
Which
I
she
have
had every
it?"
right to do. It's her paddleboard.
She did have every right to do, but
she's
she
so
di-
sweet
But she didn't
and
say
kind
that.
and loving.
So again, that's why it led
I think you're
to
giving
the
her
gray.
way too much credit,
Thank
Eddie.
you.
think so?
Thank you
Gray
very
area.
much.
Yeah.
I felt like I was.
You're
very
giving her way too much credit
Okay.
for thinking about this.
Yeah.
So this fucking paddleboard
Drama, bro.
has caused so many issues.
Fucking drama.
And it lays once again dormant in Emily's garage,
Well, because
not being used.
Because Emily
the
wants
record.
the power of the paddleboard and doesn't care about using it. But she wants the power
No,
of
that's
the
not
paddleboard.
necessarily true because I left it at your house. I left it at Sky's house. But now,
oh wait, you did leave it at my house.
And-
for the record,
well, it was
Oh, oh.
Well,
left with you when you were living by the beach.
eventually, she had
When
no,
you were living by
she
the
had no
beach.
choice in the
You
matter.
see what I mean?
She had no
She
choice
wants
in the matter.
the power,
I don't
but
want
doesn't
the
want the
power.
Dare you
I don't give a shit about the
responsibility.
power. And we only went to the Bahia a couple weeks ago, so it's
actually
just
about a
been in
month
my
ago.
house.
It was over a month
Oh,
ago
right.
for sure.
Well, and
It was for Robert's birthday, June 5th.
yes.
So
So
That's
a
over
month
a
ago.
month
There we go.
ago.
A month
Over a
ago.
month ago.
Okay,
What
so
did we say that was
July.
wrong?
It's
What did we
4
say that
weeks
was
ago.
wrong? What did we say that
Oh,
was
it's
wrong?
longer
4
than
weeks ago.
4 weeks. It's over a month.
And then for the record, let the record reflect that when she used the paddleboard that weekend for Robert's birthday, she came back glowing about it. About how she is now going to keep it
Very typical.
because she realized her son and his friends
She did say that.
It was the
enjoy
biggest
it.
hit.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
And she's
so
going to
much.
use it all the time.
So-
We're going to be
I
down
don't think I
there.
said that, did
Oh
I?
my God.
Okay, wait.
I said use it all the time?
Emily, you did. Listen, if I'm gonna have your back on what I did and didn't hear before, you came back and said my plan is to use it all the time now because we had such a great time. With
great
it,
time.
and it was such a big hit.
And then we made fun of you constantly about how you're never going to use it again.
We did
No,
do
don't
that.
remember any of that.
Oh my God! Well,
remember any of that.
well, that one I do remember.
We are the
that
worst.
That did happen.
Can we get a Ginkgo biloba sponsor on this show
I mean,
or
that
something?
one. This is bad.
Or
Okay,
brain cells.
that one you did
okay,
say,
okay.
and you haven't used it since.
Yeah.
That's neither here nor there in this problem
That is
that
the
has
history.
erupted.
Yes.
That is the history
Yes.
of the tiki paddleboard.
Tiki paddleboard.
Yesterday,
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
something wild happened. Sky spent all day, and I kid you not, all day trying to rent a paddleboard.
Comment from Sky. There's a tiny piece of information that was left out.
Okay.
On Monday, I brought up here in the room with everyone present, hey, Emily, because, it's a beautiful week, sun's shining, whatever. Hey, Emily, you and Reed planning on going to the bay at all this week with the paddleboard. My daughter really wants to use it. I'd love to join you. And that's when she was like, oh, no, not coming, blah, blah, blah. Maybe you could pick it up.
Yeah.
But it kind of got weird. Like, we all
It did.
felt like it got
Well,
weird.
it's
again,
I didn't have
I
any
felt
plans
like-
of going that far to West.
I
this
felt
week.
like you made it weird,
Right.
Yeah.
and Emily made it even weirder.
Yeah, I was so uncomfortable sitting in here. When both of you guys walked away, Eddie and I just stared at each other and cried.
Like, why did it have to be that way? Why did it have to be that
Because
way?
it's the tiki paddleboard.
I
bro.
didn't know-
That's why.
Because Sky made it a little awkward.
The
and
way
then
I asked.
Emily
Yeah.
immediately said,
It was almost defensive.
defensive, kind of made up a bullshit story, and then we called her
No,
out on
remember,
it.
she tried to lie.
She tried
What?
to lie.
She tried to lie.
She tried to lie.
She almost was going to say, yes, I am going to use it, but she knew she wasn't going to use it.
So then-
but then she just
yeah.
said, oh, fuck it. Okay, no, I'm not
See,
using
I
it.
thought the question was just, am I going to be heading out west anytime this week?
Yeah, the way
to
Sky
bring the
just put that
paddleboard
was
to
a little
Sky?
bit incorrect.
And that's kind of the way I took it.
Oh, okay. The
Honestly.
question I meant to ask
That's not
was
true either.
were
This
you-
is wild. We can never be a witness in a crime.
Never.
Because you guys
Never.
have just told both of you have just told so massively incorrect stories from what I witnessed.
And again, 2
Thor
days
will probably
ago.
have a different version of what I witnessed.
And this happened just 2 days
Yes.
ago.
2 days
that
ago.
We
So-
can't
2 days
remember.
ago.
Basically, Sky got in there and said, Emily, are you planning on using the paddleboard? Which all she would have had to say is, hey, Emily, do you mind if I borrow the paddleboard this weekend?
That's it.
Or this week?
But I
And-
knew I didn't
and
want to pick it up. So
See,
I
that's
was
the key.
I was
That's-
hoping she was
Then
coming.
I would have said, hey, Emily, if you're not going to use the paddleboard, do you mind bringing it in to work, and then I'll take it from here to work? Because you're
Exactly.
obviously not going to make Emily drive it out to you to
No.
the beach.
No.
I know most of your servants do
I
stuff
don't
like
have
that
a
for you.
servant.
But I
I
mean,
don't-
she,
I
you know,
don't-
Emily
I don't have a servant.
has a voice. You don't need
Yeah,
to
I
treat her
don't
like
think
that way.
Sky would want. I would want. Hey,
Emily at her house, I agree.
Well, yeah, that and having her drive all the way from Lemon Grove
Yeah.
I don't live
to
in Lemon Grove, I live in
La Jolla.
Mesa.
That's a big drive.
That's not cool. So yeah, but you asked it weird. If you
It was
wanted
very
it,
odd.
you could have just said, "Hey, can I come pick up the paddleboard?"
But see,
Yeah.
that's the thing. I can't pick up the paddleboard
Because the car's not working.
because the car is
Yeah.
not working. Because my husband's car, the only one that fits the paddleboard, is a 2002, and anytime he goes to
So
start it,
she couldn't even have brought it here.
well, no, she couldn't because we discussed that, and I'm like, I'd love to, but I can't be stuck in this parking lot with a dead car.
Then what's your how
Which is
how
why
are
I
you
think
going to get the
which is-
paddleboard?
Which is why I believe that the way she was putting that is, am I going to head to the beach anytime this week? Because I known this information, so she would want me, if I happen to be heading to Mission Bay or anywhere around there with my son, like I do sometimes, I go to the pools
Yeah,
and stuff. I think she was hoping I'd say, I'll just drop it by your house for you.
Okay.
See, and what
That's what I
I
took it like
was thinking in my head was Reed now fucking loves this paddleboard so much.
Well, 'cause Emily
it's
made that
80
stance.
degrees at the beach.
Yeah.
Clearly, one day this fucking week, they're going to hit the sand.
why wouldn't they?
And I'm going to hop on that with them and join them on the sand.
Well, why wouldn't they?
And maybe borrow it and maybe keep it.
They're gonna
when they
quote go
leave.
all the time.
Yeah. So that's, but I don't know. Maybe I
This is a
communicated
mess.
that wrong.
It is a fucking
It's
mess.
a fucking mess.
Emily answered very awkwardly,
Yeah.
made it weird. Between the two of them,
Super weird.
there's clearly an issue here with the paddleboard.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
still can't figure out exactly what's going on with Emily. Like, does she just want to say a giant fuck you to Sky and Thor?
She doesn't want
because-
anyone to use the paddleboard
because of what happened.
I think after all is said and done, I'm enjoying having the paddleboard. And if I want to use it 4 times a fucking year, then I can do so because it's my paddleboard.
It is.
You know what I
It
mean?
is.
Heck it
But
is.
you have put the offer out to the two of them
Multiple
that they
times.
can use the paddleboard when they want.
Yes.
So
That's what-
it is uncomfortable
I
now.
know. But now,
And
as
that's
we
my-
all know, it's become a massive pain in the ass, this paddleboard.
And that's my point about her wanting the power of the paddleboard.
Oh, I
She
don't-
clearly just you just said it.
The power of the
You-
beach.
I don't want the
kinda
power.
did.
I just
You
want
kind
You
of
kinda
just
just
said
said
it.
I just want to go with saying that it's my paddleboard, so I'm just going to keep it at my house.
That's the
Yeah,
power.
that's the power of the paddleboard.
That's having the
That's the
power of the
paddleboard.
paddleboard. That's the queen of all paddleboards.
I mean, that's
That's the
exactly
queen of
what
the
you
paddleboard.
You
want.
turned it into a fucking throne.
So what happened?
I mean, that's
may I ask a
exactly-
question? What happened to Robert doesn't want this in the garage anymore? Why are you
Oh,
fanning
she's hot.
yourself?
She's hot now.
Why Robert doesn't want this paddleboard in the garage anymore? That's why I'm storing it at Thor's or Sky's.
Robert collected a few other things in between then, and so now Robert has no say on what's in the fucking house, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
So at that,
oh my God.
that was 2 years ago. So from then,
The power has
it's
changed.
no big deal having. We've cleaned the garage out. There's no big
Paddleboard can
deal.
now be in there, no big-
Paddleboard can be there,
Even
now,
though
yeah.
you don't live close to the beach.
Thank
Got
you,
it.
Yes.
And never use it.
But she can use it anytime she wants.
Hey,
She
guys,
has
but I
the
don't want
power
the
of the
power.
paddleboard.
No, but I don't want the
Power of
power.
paddleboard.
But I don't
It's
want the
my
power.
Power of
Why
the
would I use it
paddleboard.
fucking
Which
4
means
times?
you have the power.
Yeah, that's what you
it's
want.
fine.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But I
you-
don't
then you
want
just-
that. I'm not craving
that
that.
doesn't
I'm
make
just-
sense.
It is what it is.
That doesn't
I
make any
have
sense.
the power, but I don't
Emily,
fucking relish in
Emily,
the power.
I want to have your back so bad.
I
in
don't
this
want the power. I just want to have the board.
and be able to dole it out to whoever you want,
I
which
don't-
gives you the power.
I'm awkward. I don't like being the one to dole it out.
This is what's happening right
I know,
now.
and I hate it.
Oh my God. So what was going on yesterday, Sky?
Okay. So Emily is not coming to the bay with her paddleboard anytime this week.
What?
Because she's got the power.
The power. I cannot come get it at the radio station, unfortunately, because of transportation issues.
Yeah, this is unbelievable.
So it is not going to happen. So my daughter is supposed to go to paddleboard camp next week. She's having...
That might be the most white privileged thing I think I've ever heard in my entire life.
Paddleboard camp.
I mean, I don't even know what to say to that,
What
Sky.
the? Are you sure you
mean-
want to? Should I edit this out of the podcast?
You know,
Yes, please.
like, I didn't even realize that was a thing.
Yeah, stand-up paddleboard camp. So she's going to that next week. And
She's going to counting money class.
That's not a thing.
Yes.
That is not a thing.
How to run your own pyramid pyramid scheme.
My daughter is 10 years old and is a total scaredy cat. She gets nervous about everything. And so she was starting to have some anxiety about paddleboarding because she hasn't done it since last summer. When
Somebody stole the board from her.
Yeah.
Well, she's afraid to get on it because she knows Miss Power Trip over here
Miss
is going to be
fucking
pissed
Power.
at
Probably
her.
push her off.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Got my fucking board, Loveland.
Really?
Some would say Emily's the Hitler of paddleboards.
Okay.
Really?
Deshaun, take it easy.
Yeah. Thank you.
The Mussolini of paddleboards.
Yeah. So my daughters have a little bit of anxiety. Like I guess when they get on the paddle boards, all the kids take off. And last time she went to this camp, she was the last one, and she wants to be stronger at it and not get left in the dust. Blah 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 blah. So I had promised her that I would take her out this week, thinking that somehow I would arrange this with Emily. But it turns out Emily's not coming to the Bay. I don't have transportation. So I decide yesterday, okay, I'm going on a paddleboard hunt. Turns out the place we normally rent our paddleboards from prior to the Tiki Idol coming into our life is closed down due to COVID. They just closed, so no rentals allowed. So then I remember that, we did that great thing with Play It Against Sports out in La Mesa. They have a Play It Against Sports in PB, which is
You
normally
just gonna buy one?
normally always stocked with used surfboards and paddleboards because it's by the beach, right? I call them. They're all sold out of the used ones. They only have like brand new,
Fuck, if only you knew somebody that had a paddleboard.
Okay, wait.
crazy.
Before you go there,
It's crazy.
you're fucking Miss Moneybags. Why don't you just buy one?
Oh,
if you
Moneybags
use
McGee.
it so much,
Moneybags
this is the answer
McGee.
to everything.
Yes.
Why don't you just buy one?
That's-
If Emily can fucking afford one, you could afford one.
So Emily got a deal at Costco. I looked that up, and I am not a Costco member. They don't offer that board anymore, even if I was a Costco member. So I looked around, and basically the cheapest board I could find that I could get in our area that day was going to be $500.
That's about what they run.
And I said, okay, my daughter's 10 years old. Yes, this week, that's all she wants to do. But I could rent a paddleboard 4 times a year, or I could buy one for $500. So I figured, let's rent one a few more times. And then if this becomes a thing where she wants to go out like every week or whatever, then we'll buy one.
Not as big of a paddleboard fan as I thought, Emily.
So,
I think this is a smart move, though.
yeah, I'm not going to commit
wanna
5 bills.
you don't want to make an impulsive decision and have this fucking paddleboard just sitting in your garage
How's
for no.
impulsive? She apparently is a big paddleboard chick.
I didn't
Loves
say that.
it all the
Well, you
time.
know-
You said also
I
when
gotta
you-
have it in my house.
When you lived by the bay, you guys were using it
That's all
every
I
day.
did, man.
Well, when we lived in a house on the bay for a week, that wasn't our
That's all
house.
I
Yeah.
ever do is paddleboard,
I
man.
don't know if she said that.
Paddleboard to Catalina the other day.
Did you look on OfferUp or anything like that?
We looked on Craigslist, and just like gym equipment, equipment for
It's
the
tough right
ocean,
now.
just like your boat that you found out, that stuff is so overpriced right now. People are grabbing it up as soon as it's out there.
Yeah, you don't want to have it just sit in the garage and only use it fucking 4 times a year. How stupid would that be?
Well, here's
to
the
waste
crazy-
$500
Not
on.
stupid.
Feels good.
Well,
good.
Yeah, the crazy thing, Thor, is I
When
have
you have that power.
oh, fuck,
Thank you.
the power.
Thank you. Well, and then on the
What?
other hand, though,
Right, yeah.
it would be cool if you had the board because then I'm assuming when I come down, you'd let me use it.
Of course, we're
Yeah,
right
thank
there
you.
by the water.
I
We got a
appreciate
big
it.
yard, so
Oh,
it doesn't.
God, that'd be so
It's
great.
not going to impact our yard space. So yeah, we'll keep
Thanks,
it back there.
Guy.
Yeah, anytime.
Really?
I guess when you have that kind of power,
You
can
could
do
come
what you
borrow
want
the
with it.
board. I'm right on the way from your house to the beach. Go pick it up.
Wait, now people can borrow the board.
Yeah, I never said people couldn't borrow it.
They just got to get it themselves.
Yeah, they got to get it themselves from my house. I think that's fair. You want to
You
come borrow
have
my
to
thing? Come get it.
Anoint us with your scepter, and
Anoint
then
you?
well, you're fucking
You
wielding
want
the
to borrow
power.
something of mine? You come get it yourself.
You're wielding the power, girl,
It's not a fucking delivery service.
Oh.
on your paddleboard throne.
I'm not even right around town delivering it.
This is where we're at.
Uh-huh.
So I feel it's best for everyone if I just rent a paddleboard.
But where was you? I thought you said the rental place was closed.
I found a different rental place
Oh,
that I
okay.
had never been to before. Didn't even think like I could go there because it's like part of a resort. I thought it was only for guests
Yeah.
of the hotel, but I called the hotel and asked. And they said no, as long as you get on the property, anyone can rent there. So rented a paddleboard, 2 hours for $35, and we hit the bay yesterday for 2 hours.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
What time of your life?
time of my life. Got a little sunburn, but hey.
Didn't have to drive to Lemon Grove.
Didn't have to drive to Lemon Grove. Didn't have awkwardness.
I don't live in Lemon Grove. I live in La Mesa.
So,
You did all of that and you just didn't hit up your friend over here to get this board?
well, I don't know. I felt like it was weird, and like when I asked her earlier in the week, she wasn't really into it, and I didn't want to make her feel uncomfortable or obligated to let me have it. So I said it would just be easier for everyone if I just rent one.
Well, just come to my house and get it. Drive to La Mesa and come get it.
But I don't have a car.
Doesn't your Subaru have a rack on top?
It does.
Okay, that's how I put it on my car.
I have never
You
tied
put it-
anything
Your
ever to
husband's
that
a
rack.
construction guy. He has tie downs. You tie it down.
She's never tied anything in her life.
That's how I do it. That's how I
true.
travel.
She wears
with that,
Crocs. Sorry. Yeah, so
Wow, didn't think about
this
that.
paddleboard may be the end of us.
Yeah, we can't.
We may have to just destroy it.
No.
Like throw it back
Oh.
into the fires of where it was made in Mordor.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know.
the volcano.
Because Gory Dario, yeah.
It doesn't nothing.
Well,
No.
The only one who got
Just
that
come
reference,
and
by the
get
way.
it from my house and bring it back
Eddie.
when you're done if you want to use it.
Bring it all the way back?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing.
Eddie,
It can't stay by the water.
Let's be honest. Now that Sky's renting it, no one on Earth is ever going to see this thing again. It's just going to sit in her garage for the next 15 fucking years. No
Here's my
one's
fear.
ever going to
That's
see
not
it.
true.
Till it
Here's
just
my fear.
disintegrates.
Odds that she rides it, that she gets on it twice this month.
Well, 0.
0.
We just
She
got a
said
new
4
boat.
times a year.
We just got a new boat, so I'm
So
gonna
you don't
So it
need
is
it.
use the boat right now.
true.
Yeah, and I could sit there and fucking stare at it. I could stare at that
That's-
thing for 2
The
years and
power.
never use it.
This
That's
power
my
is
You know what?
crazy.
It's mine,
Your-
and
your
I bought
power
it,
trip-
and
your
I can
power
use
trip
it
is
whenever
out of
I want.
That's
Your
my
power
point.
I
trip
can use
is
it
out of
whenever I
control.
want.